There we go. We got 42 fate solved, so we're not even 3/4 of the way, technically. But I believe that we'll be able to figure this out. Wow, what geometry to start the game off here? We're looking out a window in somebody's room. Hi, Abigail. You got this easy? Thanks. I appreciate your faith in me, but this is hard. This is hard. Hey, Laura, how's it going? You know, Laura, I read Laura's Patreon. She has a Patreon, and there were two, there were some words in the, like, I guess it's like the preview one of like the latest. Something about like broad spectrum, and I'm like, am I a broad? No, but it is my. That's where my brain went because I'm just going through it. Anyway, the last one like Donkey Kong Country was about to call it Sticker Brush. Yeah, so that one. Now I don't really know how much of a difference it is. So that one was redeemed during a charity redeem many years ago, and it was technically Bramble Blast was the name that they requested, which is like the same thing as Sticker Brush Symphony, but it's like the Super Mario Brothers Brawl version. I honestly don't know if there's even a difference. I don't know why they're named something different. I don't know why they wanted that version. I haven't compared them enough. I just like, you know what? Whatever, I'll learn that one and we'll do that. This is cool. It's fun. You're right. Yeah, it's basically the same. That's the song. Oh no. A baby game for babies, is Clarence saying? Nice. Literally nothing about you is broad, you're a lanky boy. It's true. It's true. Can I spin this? No. You thought about Juan the other day? Oh yeah, I remember reading that about the birds. I think honestly, Laura, I think Kwame passed out already. She is wiped. And I understand though. Sleepy. If I remember, I'll let her know that you were thinking about her. Well, I am also kind of tired, so. That's a cool story, though. I didn't know that about the kakapo. I don't know. I love those birds so much now. That's awesome. Yeah, when I was there, like I was gonna try to see if I can see a kiwi, but they were not out at the time. We walked by somewhere that had them, but they just weren't like. I don't remember what it was that we walked by. It was like some kind of like trail type thing, and they also had like I guess maybe like kind of an exhibit. I didn't want to push them to like go get the birds for me or anything. Yeah, New Zealand's a really interesting place. Anyway, we're playing Return of the Obra Dinn, which is a puzzle slash deduction type game where there's a boat in 1807 that went from England to, or that was chartered to go from England to South Africa, which I think I can get the leg here. All the way up from up here, all the way down to whoop, sorry, I pressed the button. I'm so sorry. All the way down to here was the plan. However, that's not what happened. Something happened along the way, and they ended up making a turn. And now, um, we have to figure out what happened to each and every individual on the ship, in the crew. There's 60 people on this ship, or in the original crew list, and we figured out, we've confirmed. What did it say? 42 of them so far were correct, and there's a remaining 18 that we needed to figure out, and some of them are not that hard, but some of them are. Some of them are really tricky, and we have to use the available data to us in order to figure out what happened. So there's a number of pieces of data inside the book. And so, you know, when you figure one out, it will like tell you, like there's a check mark, you figured out their name, you figured out how they died or disappeared, figure out by whom. So this guy was shot with a gun by Emily. I really, really want to figure out who the hell this guy is. Okay? I keep trying so many different things and I don't know. I've I, I know what happened to him. I know where they died. I know how. I'm pretty damn sure I know how they died. So this one, in order to go find out what their moments were, right? You can go through all the different moments. Usually, it's associated with somebody's passing. Um, this is me right now on the boat. This is where the body was when that I can go interact with. So I can go all the way on the other side. Just tab out here. I think it's this guy. And as you can see from the memory, it's kind of like an echoing memory. You have the stopwatch. You can use that to go back to the exact time of their passing. So this poor fellow. Um, did not have a great fate. They, unfortunately, were torn apart by this giant ass kraken or whatever, you know, like octopus like giant beast. It's really cool. The art style is very unique. And like the investigative things are going on. So you can see, like, you know, this is the guy, obviously with the tattoos and everything, they're identifiable. So the boat, at this moment, the boat was being attacked by this kraken. And there are, sometimes there's multiple scenes associated with the event in the book. So this guy's like, oh no, I don't want, what do I do? This guy put his sword into there, but obviously one sword is not enough to undo this madness. And some stuff that I've noticed, and thankfully I have been able to pay attention and catch it. You see back here, these are other people. They were in this rowboat. And it made you think that they got away in a previous scene. And it's like you have to remember who they are to remember that they were the people who were originally in that rowboat and they're not making it now. So their cause of death has changed in like from my point of view. It feels like you're kind of game. I love these puzzle deduction games, and if you're into it, I can talk about a couple other ones that I've played already that have been positive experiences, like Case of the Golden Idol, for example. If you haven't played Case of the Golden Idol, I don't know if it's on like any of the Game Pass stuff that you may or may not subscribe to. I usually get it on Steam. But if it's available in there, I highly recommend playing that one because like it's a good style. It's not 3D. That one was more 2D. But you get, if you're really into solving this stuff and thinking things through, really neat. We get this guy over here. This guy, I already know who some of these people are, so. But you can see how like they were throwing the gun and just caught the moment in the middle of the air. If this guy, you can line up the line of sight. He wasn't shooting at him, so likely the cause of death is being torn apart. Anyway, I want to figure out who this guy is. I thought that it was like Alexei Toporov. And so this is the list of people that are remaining that I can choose from because I've already solved all the other ones. The slash through just means they're currently assigned to somebody else. And you only get a confirmation when in batches of 3. So you have to get the full card filled out correctly, and 3 of them. And then if you have 3, you'll know, like, hey, the game will tell you, like, okay, 3 correct, we're gonna, like, confirm these, and now you can't edit them anymore because they're confirmed. This guy shows up in a lot of, like, 8 different memories. So you can look back at all the different memories, like, on the deck map. This is where they died. And you can go backwards from that, right? There's the explosion that happened. Somebody else died in the explosion because they tried to use the explosive to fight the Kraken in the previous scene. So you can see part 7, part 6. Um, and then this is a different chapter. So this is chapter 7, part 7, chapter 7, part 6, chapter 6, part 1. Someone else got electrocuted. And then you can go backwards through the time because, like, it'll say arrows indicate the flow of time. So this one, and then you go back through this little spiral thing, so on and so forth. Um, a lot of information to keep track of. I don't know if there's any actual info about what this person's name is, though. However, there's another system in the game where I hit Q to go to the table of contents, where the crew list all has numbers. So sometimes you can use that number and that'll be useful. Sometimes you can tell by their country of origin a little bit or their role. So we have all these columns, right? I guess the quality, but I think of that word as the role. Um, captain being a role and everything. Um, so I want to figure out who this guy is. It's just I feel like I don't have enough specific information, so I have to use a lot of other pieces of information to kind of narrow it down and do trial by elimination instead for some of these remaining ones. Um, so I know that I currently cannot name the third mate, even though I know who they are. Like, I can put the name here, but I can't confirm this because we have no record of them dying in the book. So it won't let me do it. But that one's crossed off for me right now. I can't get a check mark, but I know I can't do it. I think I'm going to unlock the ability to do that later. Um, I know who the bosun is, boatswain, or whatever the actual word that this is short for. I got to figure out the mate, the bosun's mate. Got to figure out the carpenter. I've been trying to see because the role of the carpenter, as the glossary says, is the tradesman responsible for maintaining the integrity of the ship's wooden structures. So I kind of think, all right, this is going to be the guy that they're going to be doing repairs on the boat. They're going to say, okay, well, there's something broke. We're going to fix it. I've been looking around and trying to see, has anybody done that? I haven't. Well, that makes it really tough. I haven't noticed it, at least. So I'm just kind of like putting in random guesses. Like, is this the carpenter? I don't know. And then carpenter's mate, even harder for that. Um, and then we got the purser, who the name of the purser or the role of the purser has to do with like financial things. Then helmsman, which is more like direction. And it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, right, then they'd be the guy behind the wheel at some point in the in one of these scenes. But sometimes the scene doesn't show the whole boat. The scene will like cut off this section. You can only see what's happening in this area. Like, I gotta kind of figure, is there anybody else that goes near the wheel? I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong nautical term. Actually, is that not even over here? Is that supposed to be, like, kind of over here? Or is it all the way over there? I honestly don't actually know how this type of boat works. I've played Sea of Thieves. Oh, this is like the captain's quarters, right? This is kind of makes sense. I played Sea of Thieves, but this is a different type of boat. Like the closest part, like type of boat to this would be, I think the galleon in Sea of Thieves, but this is still bigger. This would usually, I believe, be the capstan, which would be, you know, like the anchor thing. And so, yeah, actually, let's think about this. Where would the wheel that would turn to drop to steer the boat be? Is this it? Or is this connected to something else? I don't think this will be it, because this is possibly having to do with the rigging of the ropes and the mast type stuff and all that, like a pulley system. And this, I don't even know. I honestly don't have no idea what this is, if this is even related. It kind of looks like the shape of a wheel that you would use to steer, but it's like a little, it's definitely different than what I'm used to seeing, at least. Not saying that I'm a boat person or anything, but it does seem that way. And to me, this doesn't seem like any navigational utility in there. And once we start getting down below deck so much, there's not even like visibility on the outside. There's no windows or anything, so maybe there's like a porthole here. I don't know if that's actually meant to be like that. I'm supposed to be able to see out of it or not. I'd imagine it'd be above deck. Another capstan-like thing. Well, next we can do is we can look at this map and get an idea perhaps of some of the like the rooms that are assigned to different roles. Like the bosun and the bosun mate, right? We're missing the bosun mate. You know, think about boats. Yeah, I literally only know it from Sea of Thieves. That's it. And it's like, doesn't apply to this type of boat. I don't really mind being on a boat. I'm definitely not like a cruise ship type of person. I feel like I would get like cabin fever real quick. And then like, I'm also kind of tall, so like the room size, like the shower and all that is likely not intended for a 6'4" person. Casually tall. Technically. Okay, carpenter shop. Thing is like, who's hanging out in the carpenter shop? Can someone who's not a carpenter go in there? I mean, I guess. And bosun's store. So this is interesting to me. Jesus is there? Oh, in the carpenter shop. Yeah. I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Okay, let's think about the bosun's store for a minute. I want to visit that. Get down here. Are we in the bottom deck now? And across. It's over here, right? Not this one. This is passenger cargo. Come on, open it. Not a whole lot going on there. But the bosun's store. Bunch of shit in here. We got the spear. And then we got this thing. this awful, terrible thing. Chapter 6, Part 8. So, this guy ain't looking too great. But they're fighting it outside the bosun's store on the bottom deck. And they shoot straight up. I didn't even... I don't know if this is the carpenter. I have no idea. So, you know, I did think that that was... Is this considered to be speared? Okay. So... Yeah, I mean, so this thing right here is a spear, and that goes through him. Spear or spike? Yeah, both of those. So spike in this is a projectile that like gets sent out from the main part of whatever this damn thing is. You can kind of see the spikes up there. These are claws, I believe. I think spear is likely accurate. So we're gonna say that if this is the bosun's mate, right? No matter what, the person was speared by a terrible beast. But, you know, calling the bosun's mate is probably accurate. Well, let's like show memories on deck map. So they ended up here. This is their final resting place. Does it make sense to put them in the store if they were the bosun mate? I don't know. At some point that they were seen outside the purser's office. And they didn't really spend any time. Well, actually, no, this is the memory location. This does not mean where they were. That's just where the memory was. But they stayed, we never have, oh, we do have one scene above deck. Oh, this is the, everybody was in this scene. Okay, okay. About everybody at least. Okay, so we can just inspect this for a moment, too, because 5 others were present in this time. Where is this guy? We already know him. We don't know who this is yet. We're assuming that they're a seaman. I have to be very careful how I pronounce that now, because captions will get it wrong real bad. And then this guy's down here too. I mean, like, okay, this is one of the guys that we definitely saw, but we don't know who they are. And the others are likely up there, so that's that guy. And then, can I see more? Like, I can't climb up here with this thing in the way, unfortunately. Okay, there's another guy. That's him. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, this doesn't really tell me a lot of information about this guy. Mutated sea urchin. Yeah, there's like it's like a spider crab type of dealio with, like, something riding it. Some odd humanoid. And then this is the other guy. Hiding. Look at that. Look at that spot. Look at that sneaky little spot that they are at. Slicing upward. Everyone's trying to help. I don't know how they thought to get underneath the staircase, but they did. This poor soul got speared, but shot upwards, which is kind of risky to shoot from upwards in the bottom deck of a boat. But then again, maybe the guns weren't as penetrative. Sneaky sneaks, yeah. But we leave the memory. Does this tell us much? I don't really know. It doesn't really give us identity. We know that they died a certain way. Get out of that room. Okay, so maybe we can see what happened before this. This is an unknown soul also who was spiked by a terrible beast, according to our notes. They make for the lazarette. Secure the hold! Okay, sometimes we can tell just by looking at two consecutive scenes, like time-wise, that we can see the movement of the people. And seeing their movement and their position sometimes can give us hints. And there were 11 people in this one. So, okay, the guy that we were trying to figure out was not there. Not present in that. This guy, though, is. And then the guy who was killed is not there also. This guy is there. This guy is in a lot of things, I feel. We don't know who they are. Not that guy, not that guy. Most of these we know. This is the guy we don't know. This is only a 2-triangle difficulty, which shouldn't be that hard. What kind of memories were you in? Right? Alright. Yeah, okay, the Kraken. Whatever, this is when the guy tried to get on the boat. The little ferry boat, or whatever, the rowboat. This is where they died. Okay, so they died on the port walk, trying to get away. I remember they were like somewhere around here, and they were like going this way, bleeding out as they walked around the port walk. I don't know why they would go here. I don't know how that's a safe place for them. I guess they were just trying to get away from the monster. Where are there other... Okay, I know, I need to go visit it from this way. Show memories on deck map this either. Sneaky sneakers for sneaking? Yeah. Yeah, as they landed here, they were somewhere here and they just went around. That's where they passed away eventually. I mean, it is possible that this person is the purser, right? I mean, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Just looking at their clothes, also, sometimes you can get a little bit of insight, because you can get an idea. Are they somebody who does a lot of work with their hands, or are they more like an officer type role? Right, because like, for example, when we were looking at the big photo, I have to go to the front here for this. Like, obviously, you know, the people who we ended up figuring out were like the captain and the different mates and everything. They had like the jacket on. Like, I don't know what the side collars are. You know, there's the main collar, and then there's the other ones where the jacket kind of opens up. And then they had the certain types of hats. We did some research into the hats. Like the captain and the first mate, both had the tricorn hat, we found out. Someone helped explain that. And then the third mate, second mate, and fourth mate all had the bicorn hat. And the difference between the captain's hat and the first mate's hat is the captain had like a medal that was in the front. So that was useful, right? And then we have the bosun. In which, now, is the bosun's mate going to be close to them in the photo? It's possible. It's not the case for everything, though, in all situations. Like, we have the gunner and the gunner's mate, they're close, and they have, you know, like I believe this is the stovepipe hat. This to me just reminds me of like a conductor's hat. I don't know. I don't really know what type this is. I didn't look this one up. And then this one's more of a top hat. Apparently different than the stovepipe hat. But it just shows that they're like kind of important people in the politics of the ship. And the mates, like the mates of the other officers, right, are kind of like, I don't know if they would be particularly. I was like, okay, here's an example. The fourth mate steward. So this is the fourth mate. This is the fourth mate steward. This was not bad, right? Because they're wearing a jacket. They don't have a hat. Maybe they don't have like that prestige of the hat. So, but you can still tell that they're kind of like of an elevated status of some kind because of the jacket. You got some midshipmen right here who are wearing the same type of, you know, top. This is the surgeon. Maybe this guy is also a midshipman. Possibly. Maybe this guy's a steward, actually. These three could all be stewards. This is a steward. These are all their stewards. Who would be near... Okay, we might be getting somewhere by looking at this picture. Living out, sleepy girl, thank you for reading my picture. Yeah, of course, yeah. Much love. I hope you get that good sleep. I know you're grinding it out, and I respect it. Do your thing. The thing is with this is that, like, my goal is not to profile people, but I also do believe that they're including this detail for a reason. Don't know who I marked down as Philip Dahl. I do it based on positioning. It doesn't really help me that much. And there's no more midshipmen. Okay, I have some ideas. However, I'm gonna take a quick restroom. Okay, so my thoughts were based on looking at their clothes and their positioning. So I want to figure out who I have assigned to things. So we have the first mate steward here already. And what is interesting to me is that there's nobody near the captain that would infer that, hold on, that the person's the ship's steward or the captain's steward. Um, I'm not sure who that's supposed to be. I haven't really noticed anybody specifically following them around. Hey Megan, welcome in. How's it going? I'm trying to investigate things. Megan, I'm gonna be trying a new archipelago tomorrow, I think, for my community. I'm thinking of trying out ActRaiser. As long as I can get it to work in my FX Pack Pro, I don't really want to run Super Nintendo games on my computer if I can get my FX Pack Pro to work with them. Not all the Super Nintendo archipelagos, though, support the necessary, like, firmware or whatever. So that's why I'm, like, testing a bunch of them. Mr. Carrots, welcome in. Which one am I doing? Yeah, I'm thinking ActRaiser. Also, this is for Mr. Carrots, and I guess everybody else, too. Like, thank you, Mr. Carrots. It's good to see you today. You're playing those games. I can't say that I fully understood the game that you were playing, at least at the time that I was in, but it seemed like you were still having a fun time. Some of that piano got very intense. A very intense piano. You said Chips? Congratulations on Chips. Also, I'm doing a archipelago starting in March in Megan's community. I'll be playing Tunic and Dark Souls 3. I recently just changed up my YAML for Dark Souls 3 because I wanted to make the Lothric banner local or early. I think, did I do local or early or just early local? I don't know. It was one of those, basically, because otherwise I could be stuck in the first, like, 10th of the game for a very long time. Tunic is tough, is it? I don't know. I really like Tunic. I've randomized it now a bunch of times, and I really like it. I think it's a really cute game, and it has some cool puzzles, and the tracker for the randomizer is really good. I feel like whoever did the Tunic tracker really loves that game. And it shows. It really shows. I don't know if ActRaiser has a tracker. We'll find out, I guess. The Tunic verse, yeah. Yeah, anyway, we're thinking about ships and stuff. And, how's it going, KZ? The tracker sounds like it would tell you where Link is at all the time. Yeah, so, yeah, Tunic tracker is, like, it's good for the randomizer if you want to know, like, what you're actually able to do with your abilities. You don't need no tracker for your game. That's good, Swift. I'm glad to hear that. In Tunic, sometimes you need to know 100 arrow key or like D-pad, whatever you're playing with, inputs in a row. So instead of figuring that one out, I just use the tracker. I hope you understand. That I don't think I would ever memorize that. I don't think I ever could, you know? There's too many buttons to press. Doesn't have, yeah. Yeah, I know that yeah, Swift there's a lot of people who in Megan's community, by the way, Swift, that play Ocarina of Time and like the variants of it, like I think a lot of people do Ship of Harkinian version, but like you can obviously do whatever, right? Like I'm playing Dark Souls 3. Um, a lot of Ocarina of Time fans play randomizers, it seems. I know if anyone doesn't know Swift Nightfire, to me, they're an expert in Ocarina of Time. Like I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know if they're gonna be modest about it or not, you know, because they'd be like, oh, I still have so much more to learn. I'm like, dude, you definitely to me, you're an expert. I don't know. Mamma mia. Okay, it is nice having only 2 pages left of this, by the way. Because I feel like when I was scrolling multiple pages, it was just like overwhelming a little bit. You know some stuff about art. Yeah, just some stuff, yeah. And like like some stuff about Mega Man's and such and all that. Okay. So there's one steward, two steward. It says ship captain 2 and 3. So we already have 4, which is over here. We already have 1, which is over here. So that means ship captain 2 and 3. That's 4 people, right? I kind of wish we could like cross them out on here or something instead of having to mouse over everyone. I'm just assigning random names. If I mean to actually finish the game, I need a shield, bow, light arrows, bomb shoes, hover boots, and magic. So these things I can theoretically beat the game, and all of I break my own set of rules. I see. And you're not listing the medallions because you can get into Ganon's castle via some other method, I think, right? I'm assuming that's maybe bomb chew plus hover boot or something like that. Kind of interesting technique. Choose hover boot shield, bomb shoot, hover, the castle that can already be logic breaking. That makes sense. I would kind of expect that to be logic breaking, I guess. I still don't know who the carpenter would be. Hey, Dad Taylor, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good week so far. We're talking about Archipelago, and also I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this ship. You want to join the next Archipelago? Get in. We're beginning it tomorrow. Thank you, thank you. I think it's likely this is the third mate. You look at the game list again? That's fair. Definitely, feel free to do that. So if this maybe if this guy was the second mate's, right? And this guy, yep, Stewart, and this guy. Could be the purser, maybe. Oh, nice. Oh, let's go. Okay, so we got Duncan right. So the purser, they had a different tie on. That's what made me think of it. Second mate, let's go. And the third mate. Oh, yes. Nice. We don't know this guy still. We do know this guy. More than likely this is not the one for this guy. Not the ship steward. Maybe the captain's steward, maybe. This was cool too, because the butcher was right next to the cook, and it kind of made sense. But it means this guy is likely not Alexei Toporov. Okay. That complicates things. Could be a carpenter, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you could be the carpenter. I also don't know. You were killed by the captain. You're in like almost every memory. Okay? It's possible. Yeah, this guy is not assigned us to a memory. We don't know when they pass or disappear. Go back up to the top.
Ahoy! Well, back. The captain. Ahoy!
Comers aboard!
Wait! Don't shoot! I have treasure! I yield!
Hold your fire!
Where is this guy here? Ah. Ah, okay. I have to think.
뛰어와. 또 딴지래.
We're gonna figure this out. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. I'm just collecting data.
You still breathing? Can you roll? Nichols, sir, shoot them for God's sake!
Either this guy is O'Hagan, or this guy is. I kind of assume it's this guy, though. This is the other option, right? And you were speared. This should be correct. Also speared. But I don't know what your position is. I guess assuming that they drowned is a fair assumption. It's tough. What else can you call it? Fell overboard? Maybe? Hey, Princess Every, thank you for quietly streaking by. Hope you're having a good evening. Or as good as possible, you know. Trying to solve these, and they're hard. Having a wonderful evening? Oh, I'm glad to hear. Always good news. I mean, that's definitely Russian, and that's definitely Chinese. And that's definitely English. Um, and we know at least one Russian person already. We don't know if they're talking to another Russian or if they're just talking. It could just be an exclamation, you know, when you say it in your own language.
Lift this out and take it below.
What the
Oh,
hell is going on? What do you know about these things? About the chest and your dead friends?
这是虾米？我回来的，全部讲出来，拢是恁害啦！迄个害得较对人无顾好，是啥人笨死的啊？He talk about a shell, very dangerous.
Shell? What shell?
oh, I see. Hey, sir, thank you for the 60-month resub. Wow. We're going up on 5 years of streaming now. It'll just be next month. I know, right, Acer? I know you started way before me too. I think I was looking at records of like 2019, I think that you started. Kind of wild. This is them being spiked. They both got spiked. You stopped when you started working, yeah. Basically. The mental health, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for supporting my stream. It does mean a lot to me, so you've been here since the beginning. Is it even anniversary? I don't know. I mean, I probably should, because 5 years is a pretty big year, you know? Oh, yeah. We made the tiniest bit of progress so far, and it's not a lot. It's feeling a bit rough. I feel like I've kind of just come down to a little bit of guessing now. Here's more intricate than it appears. Yeah. Like, I really don't know. "28 others were present." I'm having trouble now. Oh. What do I do? Uh... Thank you for the cats. Are those, wits? Yeah, they are quite cute.
We're no use.
This is not the one I thought it was. Spider crabs, yeah. What room is this? Hunter's store. Carpenter shop's on the other side. I think this song is just related to the game. Yeah, feel free to post some pics. This technically might be spiked. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, Swift. It's pretty accurate. But also they're both very lovable at the same time. I think this guy got like spiked and speared or something. Jesus. Well, now I have to find out. Six, 8. Oh. Put it shine to those ribbons involved. That's very cute. So fast, yeah.
Эй, наплевать, привязывай. Собой следи, мужчина. Саят? Саят उठो. कुछ पी लो.
Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to do cataloging of numerical things. So we know who 4 is. Don't know who 7 is. Don't know who 10 is. Or 11. Or 17. 27. 28, we do know who that is, but we can't set it, just like number 4. Number 40. 43 and 44. 47. 55. A lot of numbers. And then there's 57, 58, 59. Now what we're going to do, whoops. Here. There's 22 people here. "22 people and 18 left, not counting the 2. There's gotta be more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 15 left. Making it down to 13 people that we know that we can choose from. And out of this, what is it, 22, did I say? 22 people here. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that we know we don't have. This guy, technically, I think that we do know who they are, how they died. Okay. That said, or look at the numbers here. X is kind of a wild. Sometimes I don't like how the system works here. You hit Q, it like resets everybody. Abraham Akbar. Who is 52. I don't know why it's X. X never marks a spot, yeah. 51. You do have 58. Assuming that's O'Hagan. You have 57. Looks like they're in the hammock. You have 55. 56. 55, they got a leg out. Is there anything else that we can ascertain? Good chill shower, okay, enjoy. Love you too. Maybe they're Russian. Hey, Von Users, welcome in. 37. 42. Words that we can't see. $36. 39. 40. Hey, good morning. Hope you're having a good one. I believe it's morning for you, right? One. 38. 9. Well, 59. Wait. 38. 59. Oh, yeah. This feels like a tough, like, Sudoku puzzle or something. I'm trying to solve. I don't even know if this is really the way it's supposed to be. Put some bread and spicy cheese, cream cheese. Swedes really know the cream cheese. Nice. They come in tubes. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna mark the numbers that match up for me here. Spicy chorizo? Oh, okay. Okay, there is a 59 that's in the bed. And 40, it's in the bed. 41. Six. 37. 42. Could you be 47? It's very likely. Five. 46. $56. 55. In bed. Let's go to meaning of life. Nice. The 57, that is... Are they in bed? I kind of assume if they have the blanket over them that they're going to be in bed. So... There's no feet hanging out like this guy. There's technically a guy in bed there, but I'm pretty sure I know who that is. You're a 51. I'm pretty sure I've seen you all over the place. 53. Did I go through it all? There's none of the lower numbers. Lowest number that we see here is 40. That's in bed. I don't know where 43 and 44 are. Is there something special about those people? Or are they over here, you know what I mean? If these tags were not readable, and I don't know if this counts as the person being here. You heard of this game? I never tried it? Yeah, I'm in like the last bit. So I guess potential spoiler. If anyone cares about that. And I'm just trying to narrow things down for the last couple people that I'm trying to solve the puzzle for. Bit maddening though, I must say. So many games to try anyway. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Same. Okay, we took notes. So that really, like, that gives us information about the one guy who's out of bed, the 47, and then there's 5 people in bed. So I'm starting to think that that's a possibility of that guy being correct. Fortunately, all of the hammocks that were up at one point are not up anymore at this point in time. This game must be live to P, but it's on. Oh, okay. Do you like those types of games? Quite interesting. Yeah. Is that upstairs? Were they sleeping with the cannons? I think they were. At one point. 44. Right here. Are the stairs. Why do they show me those numbers now? I'm supposed to be playing with the Surge too? Interesting. You know what it was? The guy's corpse was moved. So that game, nice. I haven't played it. I'm not familiar with it very much. Wait, is there 2 sets of stairs? Has there been this whole time? Wow. That is at the end? Oh, interesting. I wonder why. I didn't need to teleport here. So, if I understand the numbering correctly, wouldn't be the carpenter. Wouldn't even be the ship steward. So, like, if anything, it'd be up minimum 40. Oh my god, 43. Ugh. Charles Mine of the bosun's mate. Okay, I had a feeling. Alexei Toporov, that makes sense. And Baba. Oh, thank you. You're over leveled. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. That happens in some of those games. It depends on how they balance it, I guess. Okay, that was a good call by me to go and address it that way for that one. Glad I did that. But this also means this actually does have reduction implications. We didn't have a name set up for that guy. Let's go we'll do a combination reduction and cross off people that we know that we're not need to worry about anymore. So Charles Minor. Maba. and Alexei Toporov. Somehow, this tells us that Patrick Hagen is not correct, though. Huh. That's bizarre to me. Before we get too into that, though, let me just make sure I got the numbers right here for this. So we got 7 done. Which is good. Don't know anything about the Carpenters. No idea. Thank you for the hydrate. Pretty sure I know 28. Pretty solid on that. Can't say how they died because they don't have a death card thing. Thank you, Swift. It's a good idea. Overheat. Need some more thermal paste up there or something. Like 40 is blank right now. Almost 43. We crossed that out. 44. Skip a bit. Go to 55. 7. 58. I really thought we had 58. I mean, this would be the other possible guy, right? Possibly. What number is that, just so I know? 40. Okay. Now we do full-on reduction here. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of work. Alright, that doesn't count. I wasn't fully filled in, so we don't have any data. Okay. This is wrong. 44. There's no data. George Shirley is wrong. 59 was wrong. Okay. Aha. You're the carpenter. Nice. We're getting there. This one's wrong again. 5. I should just assign values at this point. Winston Smith. Finley Dalton is wrong. So 17. Alexander Booth is wrong. This is wrong too. It is figured out. $40 is figured out. $10 is figured out. So for me, that leaves 11 proper debate. 17 helmsman. 27 the ship's steward. 28 for the way that they're doing this. Um, 44. 55. 7. 9. That only leaves 2 more pairs of 3. Technically 3 pairs of 3, but one of them is going to be tangled up with the other 2 that are inaccessible of some sort. So most of this person's memories, I think, were kind of below deck. Everyone was there for this one. I should probably watch this one again. This is 6, 3. Spiked. This guy. This is 6, 7. And spiked also, I guess. Everyone was freaking spiked. And that they're not. Whoops. 11. go back to 3 also, and just note down what they're not. Not 17. Of 7, 4. I believe they were drowned. I don't know what happened to them, honestly. They're one of the harder ones for sure, because I believe this is the one that disappeared somehow. Maybe I should say instead of drowned, fell overboard. Oops, I didn't mean. Something you could have gotten blasted too, right? Alright. So this is 7 conclusion. There was multiple. They are not 57. 59, I mean. You have your hands on the wheel. Are you the helmsman? That would kind of make sense, I guess. And that's 6. Finally, this guy. That's 7, which is interesting.
Saya tu tahu. Aku terpilih.
Okay. Now, I kind of doubt that I have the deaths wrong. Okay, I have a good feeling about 17. Just gotta make sure that. Ugh. All right. We should be just about almost there now. Thankfully, we were right about the helmsman. The position in the photograph told everything. I missed it this whole time. Whole time. Oh, V13 53. No? 63. He got blanked out. So 67 is also blank. Great. Seven, 4. Also blank. That's the strange one though. And then 7, conclusion 1. It's not Marcus Gibbs. So that leaves only a few options for them. So it has to exist in the set of 27, 57, and 59. Gonna pick one. Seven, 4. So this can only exist in the set of 11, 27, 57, 59. to 6. This can only exist in the set of the 27, 57, 59. I need to click that. Alright, and then 6.3. Fortunately, their number got reduced out completely, so they have the full set, 11, 27, 57, 59. So, pick one that's not there. Hey. Two more correct. Wait. Alexander Booth. Okay. This guy is not this one. This is 2757. Sorry, 2759. I did it backwards, I guess. Alright. Obviously 4. 28. This is the carpenter's mate. Seven dot four. Well, this guy has to be this 9. Huh. Overlap in the middle. That's where kind of where we are.
We're no use!
I mean, he just bleeds out. He was spiked. I mean, that's what it comes down to. This part is awful to me. This part is quite rough with this guy. On deck. By the boss tonight. Yo, Optimus! Welcome in. I wish I could see outside of this guy. Optimus, we're almost there. We're almost at the end. Let me open the door. Please. Like, cause where did the guy go? This has been bothering me since the beginning, okay? Like, can I go into the barrels? That's interesting. Production of Medidas. Hey, Huami, good morning. Almost done. Like, I see the freaking Kraken out there, okay? The Kraken got one tentacle there, one tentacle here. Guy got crushed, okay? Still feel so tired. Oh. Yeah, you're gonna be recovering for a bit from the wedding and work and all that other stuff. Better, it's all. This particular one really sucks, I gotta say. This one's really tough. Like, what the hell did this guy do? What else? Where else can I look to get a hint? They're covering the wedding? That's good. I hope so. This guy's not recovering. Unfortunately. You get tired when you rest too much? For Huami, I don't know if that's possible. I say cheekily, by the way, in case it's not clear. So if we're currently 4, we go to 3. Go to the next. Get the previous one. Go back in time once. Because look, this is the guy that I'm looking for. Okay? What happens to him in the next frame? In the next section? Chat can help me out at this point. If you guys want to talk about strategy, if you want to talk about whatever, at this point, I don't know. Their detective type game is LA Noire. Okay. Like, obviously, there's this tentacle that's creeping in. And when this blows, this guy's done for. We know that already. Okay? When it blows, and then this guy gets crushed. Okay? So. And he's bracing onto the sill. This one's not lit. This one's lit. You can see it, it's lit. I assume that this guy... I tried a lot of different things here. I tried a lot. You can fall overboard, right? Because you fall out the window. I mean, this might not be the Captain Stewart, too. I don't know. Or it shouldn't be the Captain Stewart, actually. It should be this. Or this other one. Depending. Is this supposed to be the third mate? Did they slip them around? Pretty sure this is the third mate, though. And then this guy... One of the Stewarts. Maybe they're from India. I don't know. It did get significantly harder. The first scene in now splatter is everywhere. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I ruled out 27 for this guy. Maybe he's 28, you know, after all. But no, he can't be 28. This guy has to be 28. We confirmed that they killed somebody else. We knew that way. So this is locked in. I'm pretty sure this guy is locked in as well. It's just these two left. And if I already got rid of that one, this guy has to be this. This guy would have to be this, I guess. Did he fall overboard? Did it count as getting exploded? Get eaten? I think it's beat it or don't. I really don't know, Optimus. I really don't know. Crushed by the cannon, possibly. Don't know how they get crushed by the stone. Crushed by the beast. Pretty sure you got spiked. We can go over the spiking again, too, I guess. I don't know why the ship steward would be here, though, also. Yeah, well, this guy was doomed. Got shot by 4 people. For a crime that they got framed for. You missed the recoil is probably, yeah, well, I mean, recoil is for the second shot, not the first shot, Optimus. Important distinction there. What's the memory that this guy was in beforehand? The memory is, so before this one, you're all the way over here. Why were you in this memory? We haven't done this, we haven't looked at this one in a while. Let's go to this one. This is so bizarre. With the kickback. Yeah. Yeah, the bullet would have flown out by then, so it's like... If anything, it'd be collateral damage after the fact. Yeah, I think they were in the loo. At a very bad moment. Yeah, the Kraken. Go to bed? Alright, sleep well, Optimus. 41? When you put in the right information, usually it's in pairs of 3, but the one that just happened now was in a pair of 2. And I'm assuming that we have another pair of 2 to solve now. As our last... Because there's 4 people left. 2 of them we can't assign cause of death. For some reason. And then the other 2 are in the book, so I would assume that we can. But the problem is that they just disappeared. And... like, one of them disappeared. And I thought I knew who they were. I thought I knew generally how they died. This is maybe the person in the name Zongi or whatever looked a bit. Yeah, I know what you mean. Here's the thing. So right, this is more of an issue. Hold on, let me just change this around here. So there's 4 people left. We can only assign 2. We know who the 3rd mate is, but we can't give them a point of death, as far as we know. And we know, I'm pretty sure, Philippe Dahl. So basically, number 4 and number 28 are out. So that leaves these 2 left, 27 and 59. India and England. And, like, it's very possible it's the other way around, and I'm just getting some other parts wrong. This is something I'm willing to accept as a possibility. This is 7-4, and the other one is 6-7. This guy's name got swapped because I switched it. This is the other guy. So you see my conundrum. Where has that guy been? Not that many places. If we go to there's 7 memories, which isn't like a decent number, but they're kind of like out of the way in a lot of situations. At the end here, basically right around this spot, they get spiked, which we can show at some point, and then they hobble over this way. They're in all these memories right here. This cycle. They walk forward and then they walk around to here, in which they die. They bleed out at that point, which to me, they still got spiked. But maybe I'm misunderstanding something about this. Maybe that's actually not how they die. Now that I think about it, that might not be how they die. So I think they got shot in the end. Hold on. Now that I'm reviewing, I just want to make sure I'm going the right way. So let me just go to the deck. That's where I want to go. Okay, so straight all the way, then turn around. I think they got shot. And I lost that information. So this is a good reminder. They didn't get spiked. Well, they got spiked, but they didn't die from the spikes, because they were able to move so much. And not everybody dies from the spikes. I don't need to see the dialogue. Okay. So, see that splatter pattern there? In the end, they did get shot. By that guy. But it was collateral damage, because that guy was shooting the spider crab thing. And then it went through to there. Problem is, who was that guy, right? I think I know, but okay. I might have the name wrong also. So let's just go do shot, gun, by, let's find who was here, present. Might be this guy, might be the bosun's mate. Because they're bald. Bosun's mate. There we go. That's why I crossed out something. I crossed out a previous name because I thought that I understood that they died via the spike, but they actually died via the shot. I should have reinvestigated their death. Oh. Now, this leaves only one thing to do. I can leave the boat now. Oh, that was a good little rubber ducking session, if you know what I mean by that. I have all these notes. And some of the notes are pointless now because I got that one aspect wrong and I was using that as a differentiator. So another thing I should do, oh, hydrate. Ah, thank you, Swift. Okay. So let's get off this boat and see what happens at this next stage. Because technically it's not over. But we're very close to the ending.
We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back. Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
Interesting. The Honorable East India Company insurance assessment for the good ship Obra Dinn, the victims of calamitous events at sea, prepared by the Company Office of Investigation. The ship, damage and squall. Atlantic, sunken storm, Falmouth. Payment claim, payout claim, okay. Cargo, all cargo lost. Cargo crown, all cargo lost. Fate of the captain, suicide. Gun, criminal findings, murder of crewmate. 4, estate forfeited to the crown. William Hoskett, first mate. Shotgun, okay. Estate fined 25 pounds, I guess. Edward Nichols. Jeez. Third mate. Fate unknown. Exceptional performance of duties? John Davies. Findings of demerit. Abandonment of crew and vessel. No claim made. Wow. I'm not gonna read all this out. There's no way. I want to find what the rest of the book is. There's a missing chapter. I'm the chief inspector? Interesting. I guess that makes sense. Pocket watch remains in your possession. Okay. The book returns to its original owner, Henry Evans, in Morocco, as requested. One year later.
Oh, goodness. What's like this? You know, you shouldn't be out in it then. Right, well, get yourself home then. And tell Martha I said hello. Can you believe it? A package at this hour? Oh, the thing smells just dreadful. Better you don't open it inside. I'll be turning in now. Tea's in the kitchen if you need more.
Chief Inspector, I write to you with the unfortunate news that Dr. Evans has passed away. He succumbed to his illness shortly after receiving your package. He was very pleased with your correspondence and asked that his gratitude be expressed by returning the book to you, along with the means to complete it. As for the three of us that remain, the Obra Dinn is a distant memory and a dreadful chapter in our lives that we wish to forget. Do not write back. Regards, Jane Bird. What is this? Oh. Is that a monkey's paw? Tale belongs to you now. Please finish it. Huh?
There you are. Collect your things.
Where's the key?
To that door. Gone.
Damn.
There's no time. We need to go.
Right. Here you go.
What are you up to?
Nothing good.
Oh, the surgeon shot somebody. The monkey? They're back with Sam now. Welcome back. VC for a while. Oh, okay. Hope you had fun. Okay, what's the deal? Come on. Friendly but not entirely pleasant monkey companion was sacrificed in the pursuit of knowledge. Huh.
A third shell. Captain didn't toss them all. Leave it. Help me lift it. Stop! Why? Well, set you free. Give it the shell. Here. Do it. Hoist it out. To the main deck. Throw it over. Lock the door when you leave. Get the tail, boy. In return, the ship. The Obra Dinn. See it home.
Okay. This makes sense. This makes sense. It's wild. I assume it's this one. No, there's another in here? I see. So he killed one, and then another came and snuck up on him.
Call it off, damn you! This is your Kraken! You brought it here! Send it back!
Never died until watching. That's okay. I think we've all learned a valuable lesson from this game. Unholy creatures, defiant shrieks were greeted with a fatal bullet. Finally him?
What's this? Quicksilver. Herre min Gud!
GG. I solved it all. I think, at least. Does this mean I can leave? I don't know why he shot the monkey, though. That's one thing that I... Like, put the book away now. What a wild game. That was pretty cool. But I'm gonna have to, like, Google now things to understand some of the extra stuff. And I wonder what it takes to get the platinum in this. Like, what other achievements? Oh, thank you for the GGs, yeah. interesting game. I like these detective games. Like Case of the Golden Idol and other games like this. I think they're really neat. Like, it may seem on the outside like, oh, you know, it's just a detective game. You click around and move around and figure things out. It's hard. This is a lot. this game was a lot. It was very difficult, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. Oh, it was Ukrainian, not Russian. Well, that's interesting because they were marked as Russian in the book. Alright, whatever. It doesn't matter. Honestly, yeah, the voicings were done pretty well, and like the scenarios were pretty solid. There's the one guy that got blown out that I guess thankfully they accept a couple different possibilities, and I just didn't. I messed up the other guy who got spiked. That's what it was. When actually they got shot. They got spiked first, but they didn't die from the spikes. And that was what happened. They ended up getting shot through the wall by some other dude. Because the other dude was shooting the crab spider monster thing, and it just happened to collateral them. So get ready for the weekly appointment. I have about 30 minutes to prepare, but I get early and risking like, yeah, oh, thank you for being here, Swift. I hope you have a good appointment. Thank you. Best of luck. I'm glad we beat this tonight. I feel like I put a lot of brain energy into this, a lot of effort. And, I almost thought that, like, I was gonna risk not finishing it because of how much, like, computation I was doing there by the end. I literally had to basically, like, table it down with some of these. Because, like, the deductions that I had to make were, like, in certain situations, just like Case of the Golden Isle, they don't necessarily give you all the information. You have to fill in the blanks based on the things that you know. And then everything else that remains after that are the pieces that you have to put together, even though they're not spelled out for you somewhere. I think that's what makes these types of games really interesting. Is like, how do you go from like what you know for fact and then extrapolate that to additional truths that can be only proven by disproving other things until you have the limited number of possibilities remain. Hey Addo, welcome in. You came at the perfect time. Yeah, we just beat it. Just beat the game.